Okay, so a quick catch up for week 8. It's actually the start of week 9 today, and I thought I'd do a little video because I had a good result on the scales, so I wanted to share that. And I did it earlier, and then I had to delete it because noisy man child came home and he's asleep on the sofa. So you can see something. Yeah. Oh, he moved. Anyway, so the end of week 8. So I was 126.2 at the start of week 1. The end of week 8, I am 120.6. However, this morning, which is the start of week 9, 120.1, which is 18 stone and 9. Yeah. I've gone under 19. It's really good, isn't it? So yeah, chuffed with that. So overall, because what I do is every 4 weeks, I sort of have like all of the stats on the spreadsheet. So the end of week 8, overall, I've lost in 8 weeks 5.6 kilo, which is 0.88 pounds. It's about £9 nearly. 5 centimetres on my waist and 3.5 centimetres on one leg and 2.5 centimetres on the other leg. And my left leg's always more swollen because of the knee injury. Also, I don't know if this is correct. I'm just looking. I have had 21,780 calories less in the 8 weeks. That was less on top of the already deficit that was scheduled in there. So on top of the 500 deficit a day, there's 21,780 calories I've not had in the 8 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're eating in a deficit and you're being more active, you're supposed to lose weight, not gain it. Go figure. I don't know. Would you do? Reduce it even more? Because I should technically be losing more a lot quicker. I mean, there was a couple of weeks where I didn't lose weight at all over the week. So, yeah. The 7.5 was delivered this morning. So I will start that on Saturday. So this is week 8 over and done with. Nanu. Really chuffed to start week 9 on a good number. So that's cool. Overall, good. I really need to get a proper webcam or a stand, because this phone is just propped up with the case open. It's gonna fall over, I just know it. And I talk with my hands, so I'm gonna knock it over or shake the desk and it's just gonna fall down. I've been now trying to do this for 30 minutes. My ADHD really seems to be flaring big time today. And that was the reason why I wanted to do this little video, which turned into a 20-minute video, which I deleted, you'll be glad to know, and the other 5 before it. So I went to bed at 3:45 this morning. I had a jab yesterday and I have it in the evening, so I'm wondering whether that is affecting me being wide awake until that time of day on jab day, because it seems to be quite a regular thing now. But I also, yesterday, before the jab, I went shopping with my son. He had to get some bits and pieces for his trip, and I'd had a bacon pita bread before I went out, and while I was out, I was like, oh, we're in York, let's go and get a carvery. So we went to Toby Carvery, and I didn't have, you know when you see those little grannies and those huge massive plates of food? Nah, I've never done that anyway, but it's vegetables, so most of the time, you know, that's good, unless it's covered in cheese sauce, in which case, small bits. So yeah, they tell me it's 160 grams of meat, so I logged it the best I could in my Fitness Pal. So I had a roast dinner essentially, and bacon sandwich to start the day, and I got to about 11 o'clock at night and watching like Mission Impossible film, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm really hungry. I feel hungry. I can't be hungry. I had that huge roast dinner earlier. So I look at the MyFitnessPal, and I've got 960 calories left to use. And I thought, well, I don't want to make a meal. I don't want to cook anything of that substantial calories. I thought, well, what can I have? So I went and got a drink of water. So I had a drink of water. And then I thought, right, I'm going to have some almonds. So I had like 10 grams of almonds. And then I had a couple of like those caramel rice cake things. So they're like 50 calories each. And I was like, oh, I'm still hungry. What can I have? But I don't want to eat anything. Because I'm not like, oh, I could really eat a sandwich, or I can go and make myself another pita bread or something with some salad or whatever in it. I didn't want it. So I thought, meal replacement. So I went and got made a Slim Fast milkshake, whacked some prunes in there. Put some frozen fruit in there, and I did it with the almonds, so it's got really, cause it's almost like a Black Forest Gatto kind of taste, which of course is lovely. But I didn't even drink all of that. I left some in the fridge, which I had this well, about 2-3 hours ago. I've not eaten today. I'm really hungry. I can feel my stomach going, you need to eat. I went to the fridge, I opened the fridge, I'm looking in the fridge, and the executive dysfunction is like, you can't decide what you want. And this is what happens most of the time before jab, was I'd open the fridge, look in it, and decide that there was nothing in there that I wanted to eat, which is how you end up eating toast or crumpets or things like that. All of those things I haven't got at the moment, right? I haven't even got any cheese. And you just shut the fridge and go, I'll just have a drink of water. Yeah. So I've not eaten today, and I've been awake 4 hours. So I thought, bust out my fidget. This is my fidget spinner. It's a 3D printed shark, and it's awesome. But yeah, also, I thought I'd mention, because you know, people have like side effects and symptoms and stuff, and I thought, well, what's mine? And other than the initial acid reflux and of course the constipation, I haven't really had any. Like earlier in the week, I had like this hunger pangs with a slight edge of nausea, but I get that anyway because I've got IBS, you know. If I was a horse, I'd be cat food. But it also occurs to me that when I'm away for 3 weeks, I'm not going to have any access to scales to stand on or to weigh food. And I'm going to just do the 3 weeks without logging what I've eaten and what I've weighed. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to see what the scales say when I get home. Packing for this trip, because it's in a month, and oh, by the way, I've officially dropped a stone. And then I weighed myself this morning, and it was like, no, you haven't. It's like 1 pound out. But the other day when I weighed myself, I was a stone lighter. I was like, fuck you. So yeah, it fluctuates. It does, doesn't it? But I think I'm a bit backed up at the moment. My other video I was telling you about how many times a day I used to go to the toilet, and versus now. Spoiler alert, I won't go into all that full long fucking description of it again, but it was 7 times a day I could be going when I was having a really bad IBS flare-up, which is why they ended up doing a colonoscopy last year, because I thought I might have Crohn's, which I don't, thankfully. Thank fuck for that. Oh, it's just IBS. Yay. And then I started taking vitamin D. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but vitamin D was suggested to me. And I remember taking it during COVID because it was like boosting your immune system and stuff like that. And I went, oh yeah, my IBS did really, like, not vanish, but it was very background. It was background. So somebody suggested it, and I went, you know what? Yeah. So I started taking it again, and my IBS is background again. I've also noticed, I'm just playing with my shark because evidently my anxiety and ADHD is rampant. If you had seen the earlier videos, you would have seen that. So I'm just going to play with my shark. But I can't remember what I was going to say. Yes, pain. My fibromyalgia seems to have settled down as well, and I don't think it's because I dropped a stone. I'm not taking as much codeine because because the side effects of codeine is constipation, and I don't need to be adding more to that. So I'm taking it when I need it, and I always have taken it when I needed it. And it's been like 10 years I've been taking codeine now, and you're not supposed to take it for that long. And yes, my doctor knows about it, and they're happy with it. The same way I've been doing omeprazole on and off for 30 years. Apparently they're okay with it. I just reduced the amounts, you know, so I'm not reliant on it, but it's there for when I need it. But the thing with the omeprazole, you have to be sort of consistent with it, because otherwise it just comes back with a vengeance. So I tried to sort of not stop taking it and be reliant on it, and yeah, it didn't go well. I don't recommend it. Definitely talk to your GP about it if you think about doing stuff like that. But yeah, so I've noticed I don't need codeine as much as I did before jab. I've also noticed my IBS is my wind. There's no wind. I'm not farting. Although, Alexa, do a big long smelly fart.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Do a fart. Alexa, do a fart.
That was a quick and squelchy one. Try asking me for a wet fart. Or say random.
Random.
That was a wobbly one. Try asking me for a hard fart. Or say random.
Stop.
Alrighty.
I have to stop myself because me and Aaron, my 27-year-old son, we were playing with Alexa, who's a new introduction to the house, for about 15 minutes yesterday. We had to stop because we were very close to wetting ourselves laughing. That went on for quite some time. Anyway, so the gas and the IBS seems to have drastically reduced, as has the acid reflux actually. So my side effects, I don't know. I don't know if I've got any other than the constipation, really. And it's not really bad constipation. It's just a very noticeable reduction of needing to go to the toilet, which is good. I haven't got the bloated and, you know, the big distended belly from it or anything like that. So definitely up in your fibre will help with that. But yeah, so I'm now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've not had a shower. I'm still in my pyjamas. The sun is shining, but it's very windy, and it has rained. Thank God. Look, my rainbows. I make sun catchers, and they're like glass, and they like rainbows. Rainbows. I am 49, and I don't care if I'm a child. That is just me. But yeah, I've officially lost a stone as well. I've now done this video so many times, I can't remember what I've talked about. So I'm probably going to leave it there. I'm a stone down. Oh! The watch is now officially 1 notch down. Oh! And I wore jeggings yesterday. And the belt that's on the jeggings, I did it up to the next thing. So like, that was an inch gap. So there you go. That's 8 weeks. And this finally started to show some results. And I have noticed as well, there's less there. And this light's not great. I know, I get that. Apart from, obviously, my awesome rainbows. But yes, this is Sunday. There's probably another 3 days left of this week. And yeah, let's see. Anyway, I'm going to go and try and find something to eat that I actually want to eat. I think actually that was the whole point of this video, was meal prep might be a really good idea. Although I did just throw away a load of vegetables that I cooked, because I was like, oh, I'll have those with a thingy, and then I wasn't hungry and then I didn't have it. So, you know, sometimes a ready meal might be really useful, or making up little meals and freezing them and getting them out as when you need them. You can track it then, and also, you know, you can just get it out of the freezer and it's there soon. You know, maybe that's a good idea for me to do. I keep buying stuff and then I mean, there's a celeriac in the fridge, and it started to shrivel up already, so I put it in a bowl of water. So hopefully it won't get to the point where it's like a disgusting, slimy, brown thing, and then I end up throwing that away, because it's obviously very wasteful. I can't afford to do that. But I really like these things, and I enjoy making them. But I think also that's where the thing is, when you eat on your own, you haven't got the pleasure of preparing and making food and sitting down and eating with someone. So you kind of just grab stuff on the go. So yeah, there's that too. Anyway, me and my shark, gotta go sort our shit out, because the sun is out, even though it is very windy today, and I've a real hankering to go outside, because yeah, I need to get off this chair. Alexa, turn on the firelight.
Okay.
I know. Little things, eh? Okay, I'm now sick of myself. I've done this so many times already, and I've forgotten everything I was saying, and then I get to the end of it and go, oh God, did I say it in this one, or was it in the one before? I'm really tired. I've had a very long day. I've been out with a camera club, walking around a nature reserve, and I can't say the word properly, plantar fasciitis, that thing where you heel, where you get the throbbing pain in your heel on my left leg, has been that and the sciatica. So sleeping on that side, or just, it just feels like someone has run something sharp down my hamstring all the time, because it's so tight. And I've got Baker's cyst on my left knee from when I had the surgery, and it's where the fluid, when I've done too much and my knee swells up, then the fluid leaks and end up with a bigger Baker's cyst. And the thing is, you've got to be careful with Baker's cyst, because they can burst and they are painful. Because my friends had one and it burst and it was awful, and he couldn't do anything. He had to rest like feet up for like weeks, I think it was. But yeah, that pain, this dull ache, is from my hip, essentially, glutes, that area there, all the way down my leg into my heel. And the heel just, it's like, but it's not like a pain, it's just a really irritating, low level kind of stab throb thing. So yeah, I've had to look for some of those sock support things. I've ordered one off Amazon to see whether it's something that I can live with, because obviously I'm going to be travelling and I'm going to be on my feet a lot, and I need these extra things to help me do this stuff. Anyway, so I'm really tired. Essentially, I've had 1100 calories less this week than I did last week, and I have had slightly less energy going out. So I've done, well, no, I'd had my watch off for a few hours once. So yeah, it's about the same amount of going out, and 1100 calories less coming in. Maybe that's why my chronic fatigue's kicking my butt. On Sunday, because of my leg, the sciatica thing, I did like 2,000 steps, which is just terrible. It's been raining and horrible, so I've not been out. Today, oh, by the way, this officially gone down a notch. Today, I've done that many steps. Yeah. I had to keep sitting down because, yeah. Right, also, weight. It says I've lost 0.1 kilo, which is 0 stone or pounds. And I think the reason of that is because what goes in isn't coming out. Yeah? What's going on with this watch? Just put another thing that needs replacing. However, since I measured myself last week, I've lost an inch on my waist and an inch on my left leg and only a centimetre on my right leg. So I am losing inches. My belt's gone down one tab as well. So yeah, I'm officially under 19 stone now, and that means I think I'm a pound off losing a stone. I was getting really excited because I thought I'd lost a stone. I've also quite excited that when I did my MyFitnessPal earlier and I logged the food for the day and completed the diary, that it said if I carry on like this, I'm going to be 17 stone 8 in 5 weeks. And it was like, dramatic light goes out. Yeah, I'd be in the 17s. I'd never thought I'd be excited about that. I'm sure I've told you the story when I had my knee. I was going to do the operation on my knees 11 years ago. 11 years ago. And I was paranoid I was going to die on the operating theatre under general anaesthetic. So I was eating really healthily. I didn't have any alcohol. I was running my butt ragged because I knew I was going to be off my feet for a month, right? Because it's both my knees at the same time. So I ain't going to be doing nothing. It does my head in when I tell this story. So I stood on the scales at the hospital in the ward for the pre-op. And I was 17.2. And then when I went back 6 weeks later, I had gained over 2 stone. I was 19 stone 4. I have never been that heavy. 17 stone, I think. 17.4 was probably the heaviest I'd ever been. And that was after I'd given birth to my son. Or no, just before I gave birth to my son. Because I lost 2 stone in about 2 weeks after giving birth. And he was only 7 pounds. So, oh God, it's just my hair. What's going on? It's been windy and horrible and rainy today. It looks bad. Whatever. Don't care anymore. I'm getting it done next week as it goes. So yeah, I struggled for 11 years to lose the weight that I gained in that 6 weeks. And 18 months ago, I got down to 18.3. And then I burned myself out. I got ill and it crept on. And then annoyingly, last September, I started the gym. And I was going every week, sometimes twice a week, and I was doing a proper workout, and I was more active, and I was tracking all my food and logging everything. I was eating within a calorie deficit, and I was exercising and more active, and I gained fucking 5 kilo. So the weight I just lost was pretty much the majority of that was what I gained from trying to lose weight. And it's so infuriating. It really is. I know I've talked about this before. And no, it wasn't muscle gain, because I stood on that machine and I held those thingies, and it tells you what your fat, water, bone density, all of that gubbins. And I had lost a little bit of muscle and gained fat, and yet I was in a calorie deficit and doing more exercises and hitting steps and stuff. So when I, because obviously I'd gained weight, I got kicked off. So after 6 months, if you've not lost weight, you get kicked off. So I had to ask the doctor to put me on a different thing. So now this one is, I've had to pay for it, and I think it's twice a week, and it's only 10 weeks or something like that. Yeah. And when I signed off the other one, they said, well, what do you think is going to happen now you're not going? I was like, well, I'll probably lose the weight. But yeah, it was annoying. It's very annoying. I know I must be doing something wrong, because that doesn't make sense. And if my thyroid is fine and everything else is fine, what is the reason for it? But yeah, so I've definitely noticed my water consumption's gone down a lot actually this week. Is my water retention up again? Not massively. Not massively. Though I am very aware of it. I mean, I need to drink more water anyway. I think that will help with the other problem. But because of the pain, I'm taking more painkillers, which obviously then adds to that problem. So yeah. So the idea of me hitting into the 17s, or any number in the 17s, is awesome. So if that's, they reckon in 5 weeks, that's another stone, which means I shouldn't go and buy any clothes now, because they're probably going to be too big for me, hopefully. I'm just trying to think. But that's the thing, is we got this, is that your top size doesn't really go down. Because you've got, they don't really shrink that much. I mean, if you think about it, when I was about 13, I was a C cup. And by the time I was 14 or 15, I was a D. And I wasn't big, as in fat. I was a healthy weight. And I had these huge boobs. So I've had this problem my whole life. So you always have to wear the next size up. And anything with buttons, just forget about it. Just, nah. Anyway, so that's 10 minutes. That's this week. No loss on the scale, however, loss on the measure tape. So that's good. The 7.5 is definitely doing the job. I've been working out what I need to do when I order it in time for me to go. I've got someone who's a nurse who I'm travelling with, who's going to do the deed for me. I've worked out how to take it with me and keep it cool, like if it's in the fridge. So that's all good. Just been shopping for all the stuff that I need and my son needs for his trip. And just trying to get everything into order. Energy levels have been quite low, but then the weather's been pants, so I think that's definitely had an effect on mood. Good mood on Thursday. See, this is the good thing about writing this thing, is like Clip Champ on Wednesday, eBay stuff, late night crafting. Oh yeah, I was late night crafting. Tidying up front room and the kitchen, and then the next day I went to the gym, shopping, did the radio show, had loads of energy. I was in a good mood. Loads of energy because I went to the gym. So obviously when you exercise, it really does help. And headphones, music, find something you like doing and do it. I've been going to bed really late all week, like 3:30. The other day, I went to bed. The birds started fucking singing. And little Miss ADHD here went, oh, I know what I'll do. I've probably already told you this in the last video. I put the Merlin app on. I was like, oh, wonder who that is. And hang outside my bedroom window for 5 minutes. Spoiler alert, it was a robin and a blackbird. But that's, I have talked about this, I'm sure. I'm sure I talked about this in the last video. I'm going to get a little message now that says, yes, you did. Shut up. Stop talking. I am. But yeah, I'll do the Clip Champ tomorrow. I am not going to do it now. It's 11:45 and I am, look, bloodshot. So there you go. That's 12 minutes. For you, it's been about an hour doing this for me. I really need to write down a list of all the things I want to talk about. Yeah, God, I look rough. Yeah. Yeah, get my hair cut next week. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. All this hair is just fucked from a bad hair job that I had. It's all growing out, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have that lot off easily, and maybe even asymmetrical, so it's like in staggered in chunky. I don't know, we'll see what she says. She knows what she's doing. Anyway, I'll see you later. That's week 8 out. Week 9? Week 9. Oh my God, I need to go to bed. Laters.